All right, Jonathan Lee Riches investigates, and I am here with Michael and
Marguerite.
Marguerite. Now, following the Rachel Morin case, Rachel Morin, Bel Air, Maryland, was found murdered along the Ma Pa Trail. Michael has been in the news, and I appreciate you inviting me out to your home, both of you guys, and I appreciate that, and kind of want to set the record straight and talk. You were in the news, and the media has put out things that aren't true.
Yes.
Let's talk about it.
When they even showed up in my driveway and come down into my driveway when I had the no trespassing signs, they caught me when I just woke up, and they weren't supposed to use certain things on the record that were supposed to be off the record that weren't. They were filming the whole time, and they just ran with everything.
Who were they? Who they came?
Fox 45 WBFF.
So Fox 45 comes to your house, and they come and introduce themselves and say, "We want to talk about the." How did they know to come here?
They got my address from the internet somehow. That's what scares me about this, because all these people from social media are looking at me like I'm, suspect or something. I don't want backlash from this coming to my house. And the main thing with me doing all those interviews, I was trying to protect my daughter, okay? Because I didn't want her face plastered all over news media.
She was a mess.
How is your daughter Cecilia?
She is a mess. She's going to need counseling for...
And her friend, he's a mess. Because he saw more than she did.
Right. So let's just remind the people, for people who are just, jumping aboard now, you and Cecilia. Yes, anyone else?
There's a third party that's a friend of hers. I'd rather not say his name just to protect him. But we got a call from her daughter that morning.
And what morning was that? The
August
6th.
Yeah.
Sunday.
The day we went out there. And she says, "Mom, I'm getting ready to go for a walk down Ma Pa Trail."
But I just saw on the media
Here, you tell
that
about it.
Somebody was missing, and on Ma Pa Trail. It's a friend of her boyfriend's. I don't know. Went to school. Her boyfriend went to school with this guy, and Richard Tobin.
Yeah.
And she goes, "I was going to go out there. Oh my God, Mom, I'm not going to go anywhere." And then she called back about 10 minutes later. She goes, "Me and my friend are going to go down there and go search." And Johnny had said, "Well, hold on. I'm going down. I'm going to keep an eye on everything." And next thing you know, about an hour and a half later, I get the phone call. "Mom, I found her. And she was devastated. And then it just turned into a shit show.
So she was just, I heard reports like she was hyperventilating.
Yes.
On the dispatch call, they had to tell her to sit down.
Mm-hmm.
I listened to that dispatch, call, and her name was
hyperventilating. She almost passed out from being so overwhelmed of being a young lady with the same description. And next thing you know, she's looking at another young lady around her age, sitting on a trail that she was getting ready to go walk on by herself before she saw that missing case.
So she was just down there, and then you went down there.
Yep. Because when I said I was going down there, she looks right at me and says, "Keep my daughter safe."
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's that killer on the loose.
Yeah, we don't know who it is.
We don't know who it is. And you know what? I mean, I'm conflicted with this whole thing because I feel like the heart's not really there in the investigation. I'm not going to point fingers at any kind of law enforcement agencies or anything like that, but I just feel like the spirit and the heart are not there to find out what really happened.
Finger pointing and accusing.
Right.
So when you say finger pointing, like you spoke to the media, and I noticed the interviews out there. There was a lot of broken clips and pieced together and spliced together.
They edited everything and they spliced everything together to fit their needs.
Because they put out as if you found the body. But
Right.
I didn't hear anything. I personally listened to all those interviews, and I didn't hear anything.
From the start, I said I never found that body.
And they didn't play that.
Nope.
No. And every clip was me and the father that found the murdered woman. His descriptions.
Yeah.
No.
No.
So why do you think they did that?
Because with ratings, it makes money. With money, you know, that's what moves America. You know? It's just, I feel like they were just trying to get a story to make money off her tragedy, her pain, her suffering.
So,
You know what I
and
mean?
then, you know, I saw some media follow up and saying, well, we spoke to the sheriff and he's saying that you didn't find the body. And then that's when I personally saw a bunch, and you said it earlier, finger pointing and stuff. And then everyone started, you know, focusing on you as
Yes,
if
sir.
you did something wrong.
Yeah.
Or you lied.
And
Or
now I'm getting backlash on social media for just wanting to go out and help my community, which is ingrained in me because I am Native American. As a community out on the reservation, we all help each other. Somebody's hungry, we feed them. Somebody needs a place to stay, we give them a place to stay. They need a ride, we give them a ride. You know how it goes.
Absolutely. Did you
Yeah.
try contacting these media outlets and say, hey, you got this wrong?
At that point, I contacted WBFF and told them I was giving no more interviews and that
After when you first started seeing stuff on the media, the one outlet contacts him, hey, can you give us your daughter's name? And he's like, absolutely not.
my question is, why would they release that dispatch call to the public?
Why do you think?
I don't know. That's a critical piece of information. I just don't know.
So when your daughter found Rachel, before we were talking off camera, there was no police around there?
No.
Where were they at?
They were, it looked like they were staging at the top of the trailhead. I mean, you had a couple walking through, but there was none in that area. Because something happened with the dispatch call where I think it was, what was it, the dispatcher said
Yeah.
Maryland 23
Yeah,
instead
yeah,
of
she
Maryland
said to check-
24.
I heard that.
Yeah.
There was a confusion.
And they swarmed
And that's
on
miles
23,
apart.
and it took them maybe 5 minutes to get back to us.
Was that Cecilia told him it was 23? Or
No, she told him it was 24.
but they had for some reason
Yeah,
thought
she
it was
even gave a
23.
mile marker, I believe.
She even gave him a mile marker.
Was Rachel Rachel was found in the tunnel
I believe so.
or
yes.
by the trail?
No, I believe it was in the tunnel.
And
I believe it was in the tunnel. I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was in the tunnel.
or around the tunnel there.
Yeah.
There's a creek there.
Right.
I think it's called Whispering Creek or something like that.
Winter's Run.
Winter's Run.
Yep.
Have you ever been down there before?
When I was a kid, before they put that trail in, when it was just a mom and pop railroad, we used to go down there and ride dirt bikes, and you know,
Mom
we
and
were
Pa ran
teenagers,
right through
party
here.
down there, and we were kids trying to get away from the eye shot of everybody else, so we could kind of like let our hair down, so to speak. But yeah, that trail's been in Harford County forever.
Never seen anything like this or heard of anything, no violence ever on those
I
trails?
mean, I've heard of people getting in drunk fights on that trail because there's homeless encampments on that trail as well.
There is.
Yes.
I didn't see any.
They are in the middle of the bypass. When you're coming up the bypass toward Route 24 Rocks Road, if you look right in the middle there where the bypass splits, there's that big median, big hill right there. That's usually where they reside, or the old landfill on the right side of the road over there.
Interesting. I wonder if any of them made their way down there. How far is
That's
it from where Rachel was found?
Oh, probably maybe 3/4 of a mile, maybe a mile. Not far at all.
So
Not far
20
at
minute
all.
walk.
If you're familiar with the area, you can get into the trails
So many different
without
ways.
going in the open.
So many different ways. Without being surveilled.
Yeah, you know, because the authorities also were saying that they're expanding the search out from that location. Like they say the Maupaw Trail goes to the other communities.
Maupaw Trail right here goes, well, it's not a trail, it's still the old railroad bed, but over top of this hill is the old railroad bed.
It was the old Underground Railroad. It's what the mile
Part of
mile
the Underground
was.
Railroad.
This location's here, where like this is like about what? How far from?
I'd say about 15, 20 miles from Bel Air.
Yeah.
Maybe not that far.
No, it's about 15, 20
Oh,
miles
okay.
into town.
So, how's your daughter doing?
She's still a mess. Still.
She doesn't want to
Shooken
be
up.
alone.
She used to be an avid woodsman before this happened, and now she don't want no
She
parts of
goes,
the
I don't know
forest.
if I'll ever go back in the woods.
And remind me again, was she friends with Rachel?
Her boyfriend knew her boyfriend from high school.
Okay.
And I think he was coming into the restaurant where he works at.
Right.
He's a cook. And I don't know if she had met her there or not. But she was just saying, yeah, his new girlfriend, I saw it online, she's missing on the trail. So that's how that, and she was never good friends with her. She
And
didn't
now
know her.
the Harford County Sheriff is calling out for public assistance for more tips, even though they've gotten over, I think it's 700 false tips,
Oh, false tips.
fake tips. You know,
Has police come and talked to you guys at all?
nope,
No.
nope.
Have they talked to your daughter? Like. Wow.
Gotta love the forest.
Yeah.
Twice.
They talked to your daughter twice.
Yeah.
Like kind of like what did you see? How did you see it?
Right. I guess they're trying to get more information on the scene, and because right after they found her, it stormed really bad for 2 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the rain was terrible. We had a tornado come through.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So when your daughter found Rachel, like, did she tell you guys like what condition she was in? Like I heard.
Yeah,
She did.
she did.
I mean, not to get too graphic, but like, can you describe a little bit?
She said that it was brutally horrific. We'll just leave it that way.
I'm sorry?
Like she was brutalized. Really badly brutalized and disfigured.
She have her clothes on her?
I don't believe so.
No, she said she didn't have clothes on.
So sad, so sad. And you know, it's gonna take your daughter probably a long time to recover. I can't imagine anyone seeing.
I don't think she'll ever recover from this, honestly.
Did your daughter just expect to like find her alive or something? Like not as like didn't know what she was getting
I
into?
don't think my daughter or my stepdaughter thought that we would find her. You know, she thought we'd go down there, walk the trail, help out, you know, whatever.
Just feel like you did something.
Right, at least feel like you did something. We thought the Harford County Sheriff was going to find her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Was there other volunteers around there? Just like volunteers, like
There,
citizens?
when it first happened, they still had that trail open to the public.
Really? They didn't close it off?
No.
That's what I don't understand.
Interesting.
Why didn't they close the trailhead from trailhead to trailhead?
Now, did they close it once they found her?
Yes.
Yes.
They did. They closed it.
Yes.
What, from like the 24 bridge?
From where the walk tunnel is
Mm-hmm.
down to the big bend where you come up on that bridge.
Yep.
They had that and that corned off, and they were turning people around. But still, I mean, the search area, if you're ever in search and rescue, you're going to experience, like, that concentrated area expands out maybe 1.5 miles. Because that's the way a search and rescue is done. You know, first you start off with the little hidey holes, hiding spots. Then you start with your grid search. 10, 12 people get side by side and they walk a straight line. And then if that doesn't work, then you bring your dogs in and the cadaver dogs if you don't find anything. Because the dog's nose is 100% better than ours.
Yeah. So let's talk about people out there like potential suspects. You have like, what's your take? Like, who do you think could have done this? A local?
I don't feel like this was an opportunistic homicide.
Too personal.
It's too personal.
So Rachel.
It seems like it could be like a disgruntled baby's father. It could be because she was on social media. It could be a cyber stalker.
Yeah. It could be a jealous woman, too.
It could be a jealous woman. It could be the ex-boyfriend, but I'm not so sure about that.
I mean,
Or
I
the
mean, at
current
this
boyfriend, Tobin. We keep hearing Tobin's name. What's your
Yeah.
What's your
Yeah.
thoughts on? Do you know him?
No, but I mean, people are saying that he has a long criminal history of assault, domestic violence, drugs, run-ins with the law, like a long history from like 2014. And to me, you know, him being with the girl and giving up his DNA, that's not really, you're with her. Your DNA's gonna be on her.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why I think he gave it up so freely.
Interesting. Now, in reference to you, like, okay, so after you know, the media was out there and put you out there as if you found Rachel,
Right.
not true. You know, you're on social media.
Yes, sir. I'm on Instagram and I'm on Facebook.
So
They're
you
the only two outlets I use because the only reason I use it is I'm a Native American traditional dancer. My territory is from like New York all the way down to Florida. Okay, we go cross country sometimes, but this is mainly the East Coast is where I dance. And basically, you know, what was I saying?
well, going on social media and
Oh, yeah,
what
yeah,
I was
yeah.
what
media.
Yeah, like, you know, that's the only reason I use social networks.
But
I don't use it, you know, I watch stuff on YouTube because I don't get regular TV out here.
oh yeah, you live out here far.
So, I
Remote.
mean, I watch YouTube constantly because it's more entertaining than watching
Yeah.
tragedies all over the country, people getting killed, snatched up, whatever. You know, it's a growing problem in the United States. This problem is growing. And, you know, when people realize, like you said, the colored women, the indigenous women, they don't get the coverage.
No, they don't.
But let a Caucasian woman go missing,
Top news.
they go crazy.
Yeah.
National news.
So, you know, the interviews were out there. I was in these Facebook groups. I'm seeing your name. That's why I reached out because,
Right.
you know, I personally listened to the interviews. I didn't hear anything out of your mouth saying that you personally found Rachel.
No, sir, I didn't.
So I started seeing comments. I started seeing people saying some very cruel things and directing it at you, like you're a suspect, you're
How
involved.
big my rings were instead of concentrating on who did this or, you know, the stuff surrounding the case. They were more worried about me, a person that came out to try to help.
How does that make you feel when you saw this?
It makes me feel like not wanting to help anymore. It makes me feel like crawling back up in my house and never coming out of my house again. Because, I mean, you go out to help, you know, and these social media outlets make you out to look like you're the suspect. You know what I mean? It just taught me an important lesson to keep my circles small.
Yeah. So probably like in the future, if something happens again, you probably won't even help
No.
because of the backlash.
I mean,
and-
I'll give my input, but I'm not going to go out and do what I did this time.
Won't get
You
on
know,
social media,
if
that's
it's
for sure.
a colored woman or an indigenous woman, you can best believe I'm going to be out there.
Yeah, a lot of them need attention. They don't get that. And there's thousands.
I know.
There's thousands out
I
there.
know. I follow it all the time. I mean, I see it
That's
all the
what he
time on
does.
YouTube.
He's
I'm a big advocate for missing and murdered indigenous women. I'm involved with the Memorial Grove here on the East Coast.
What's the Memorial Grove?
It's where we hang honor dresses, red dresses, in honor of these women that died. You speak their name, you keep their spirit alive, and we honor them because they didn't get to tell their story, but we're telling their story for them.
I
Trying to raise awareness.
like your vest.
Thank you, sir.
Really cool stuff. What's that?
This is for my motorcycle association called Tatanka Yanasi. It's got my tribal affiliation, what I do for the club, my name, and then it has our symbol on the back of it with the 2 rocker paddles.
Have you been living here all your life?
I've been living here for 37 years. I lived on my reservation for 12 years. But now that that's another thing about social media. I take care of my 80-year-old dad. I protect my family. I stay here and provide for my family. I go to work, I go to Native American powwows, I go to rallies and marches, but other than that, I don't go anywhere. You know what I mean? I'm not out in the public. You know what I mean? I keep my thoughts usually when I see these
clubs.
Right, when I see these cases, I keep my thoughts to myself. You know, and the one time I come out and try to help, you know, I get bashed in the head.
Yeah, it must suck.
And now I've got a friend of mine that I let stay here for months for free, no rent, no electric,
to
no
help
nothing.
him get on his feet.
And because he's seen me on these news outlets, now he wants to try to extort me for money.
What do you mean?
He is basically threatening to go to the news media about me and tell them what kind of bad person I am and all this other stuff, trying to defame my character. And I'm one that's not going to just sit around and let that happen to me. Because I've worked too hard. I've came out of a gutter myself, you know. But I've turned my life around in 13 years. You know, I own a business now. I have a family, taking care of my dad. You know, that's my three main functions. And everything else after that, like the powwows and everything else, is secondary. Well, my work is priority too, because I put the food on the table. But other than that, I mean, you know, just because you try to help somebody that you think you know, and then something like this pops up.
Then they want money from you.
Because he, I guess, can't afford the price of living these days.
Yeah.
So he's got to go through other means to be able to get money to support whatever it is that he does. So, you know, as of right now, I have a open court case to go. I have a protection order here.
What you got? Let me see.
I have a protection order here through the District Court of Maryland.
Matthew Dick.
Yep. And I want everybody to know that, you know, my heart is pure. My thoughts are good. I walk in a good way. I came out to help out of my own heart. I didn't get paid for anything because I'm a big advocate for MMIW. I would do it for any indigenous woman, any colored woman, any non-native woman, okay? As long as they appreciate the help and they support me, you know. But the second you go defaming my name and you start, you know, doing crazy things like telling me I'm a suspect and everything else, that makes me not want to help.
Yeah, a murder suspect.
Don't
hang around him, he's a murder suspect.
Yeah, it's another thing my buddy said. Don't hang around me, I'm a murder suspect.
So because of this, people are calling you a murder suspect now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Locals too? A lot of locals?
Yep. I'm in danger right now. But it doesn't bother me because you see where I live.
Yeah, it's out here.
Yeah, they come here, they're going to have a bad day.
Yeah, that must feel horrible. It turns into, you know, first off, your daughter's out there helping.
Right.
And then, you know, you're making sure your daughter's okay.
Right.
And then it turns into media
And
twisting
I try
your
to
words.
protect my daughter because I knew those news medias were going to come after her.
Because she's
Wanting this story, doing this, doing that.
tall,
You know
blonde,
what I mean?
blue-eyed girl.
Well, I'm talking about the news media.
Well, I know, but, you know, if she
You know, and
got
I
out
didn't want
there-
her face plastered all. See, look,
Right.
look at this right here. Look at him creeping past my
They've
driveway.
been doing it since they got here.
So is that just like people, like maybe like people thinking, is this the suspect's house?
My address is now on the internet.
Really?
somehow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Posted where? All over the place?
Fox 45 got it, and I didn't give it to them.
Yeah.
It must have been another news outlet that gave that news outlet my address.
Yeah, that's what they do. They circular reporting, they pass
See
all
what
the
I'm saying? How is
information
that
around.
fair game?
It's not.
You know what I mean? I gave the one interview. That's all I wanted to give. I didn't want to give the one with Fox 45. I'm not a social media person. I don't want to be the center of attention. Who I want the center of attention on this is Rachel Morin and her children.
Right.
I want them to focus in on that. How much her children are suffering. How much she suffered. I'm not worried about me. I'll live. I'll go on.
Anything to say to Rachel's family?
I send my deepest condolences to Rachel Morin's family I
can't imagine
never
what
meant
you're going through.
for any harm, disrespect, or any pain I may have caused the family. You know, I feel really bad about what happened, you know, and once again, I just wanted to bring that family closure
Yeah, to
and not
actually
have
bring
them
someone
wonder what
home
happened to them.
and not be somebody missing for a long
Right.
time.
Right.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they'll find out who did this, and I'm praying for you guys, praying for your daughter. I believe you. I 100% believe you guys, for sure. I my channel sometimes on my channel, JLR Investigates, I call out the fake news media because I know how
Right.
they operate.
Right.
Yep. I think they're all fake, man. They network between each other, and then they put splice here, splice there, splice here, splice there. They're all in
Share
it together for
information.
that big pot of money.
Right.
It's almost like they set you up almost to
Well,
be a
You think the news media outlets
Suspect.
make ads, everything else. As many ads as they get on that news, and as many people as watch that news and see that ad, they're making money off those ads.
Yeah.
So, that, to me, is the driving force behind them creating fake news. Because they want bigger crowds, they want bigger uproar around what's going on. Instead of leaving it private in a small town and letting the small town take care of it. You know, they bring all these like news media outlets from UK. What does UK have to do with anything? What does London,
they
England
were the
have to
first
do
ones
with
that
this?
came here.
They came here too.
UK, like
Like Daily Mail UK.
yeah, Daily
Yeah.
Mail.
He went to take the dog out, I believe, for a walk and ran into them first.
What do they do? Just run up on you?
Yeah, both of them.
What, with the camera already rolling?
Yeah.
And said what? Hey,
Hey, how you doing today? Can you give us a little... And I had just woke up.
Yeah.
I got them up top the driveway, and then when I came back in the house and come back out through the front door, then WBFF was standing
had
there
already
talking to her.
to me.
So it was like a slingshot. You know? I mean, it was really bad. You know, and I just want to, I want to clear the air, man. Look, this is me. This is what I do. Okay? I'm not going to stop being me because these
Such
people
and such says horrible things.
says horrible things. My conscience is clear. My mind and my heart are clear as well. You understand? So what they say, that's just words. But if they come to my house and start threatening me, that's another deal altogether. They
yeah.
can say what they want on social media because these people have nothing better to do than sit behind a screen and feed off each other's animosity. One person says one thing, next thing you know, you got 100 comments saying the same thing. Oh yeah, well, I didn't think of that.
See, but if people attack other people that come out and try to help, you're going to find people won't want to come out and say anything because...
I bet you even get backlash.
I get backlash because of my criminal record, right? I'm not shy to explain that I've been through the system before. I'm trying to make changes. I'm trying to make a difference, but I still get attacked because of my past. It's unfortunately that's how it is, and it sucks.
And we're walking the sober road now, and we're trying to help our communities and right our wrongs.
Yeah.
You know, we wronged these communities when we were sick and suffering. Now that we're well and clear-headed, now we can go out and help the communities.
Right.
And now I feel like they look at our ghost from the past instead of looking what we have blossomed and become.
Just because of what someone may look like.
Right.
What they have or don't.
Judging a book by its cover.
So they would just judge you by your looks.
Oh,
Right.
yeah. That's what I feel like they were
Well,
doing.
that's what came across the media.
You said something about your rings. They were talking
Yeah,
about
I
your
didn't wear my rings today, but...
So
yeah,
people
I
are
got
like,
big
because...
I got big turquoise rings that are this big. Oh, yeah. All the
So
way
they were
across
trying to
my
imply
got
like she got hit by your
silversmiths.
rings or something like that?
Yeah, my buddy's a silversmith from Arizona. He's a Navajo silversmith. And he makes me custom jewelry all the time.
Yeah.
So I wear a lot of silver. You know, I wear silver rings. You know.
It shows your Native American pride.
Right.
So you don't know again, I don't know if I asked, but you don't know Rachel at all. Never met her.
No, sir.
Never knew she
And came out of my
existed.
heart to come help her because when I seen the picture of her,
You
it
saw her?
reminded
You
me.
saw Cece? my daughter, Cecilia.
That's all I was saying to her is that I see Cece.
And also,
Thank you.
police, they're out there looking, right? You
Right.
figure they're at least asking questions. They never even came and talked to you guys. So
Nope.
what does that tell you? That you guys aren't
They
even
took
on
my
their radar.
information. They took my information. And then when I took Fox 45 down there because they couldn't find the tunnel,
Then they jumped.
then they cornered me.
Oh, the police.
Yes, and
Oh.
got my information and asked me what I said to the media. And I said, well, you seen what I already said to the media. I said, I'm not going to sit here and hash it over. I
See,
said, I'm going to walk away now. You got my information. I need my ID back. And I walked away.
since he's lived here for so long, the police know his good, bad, and the ugly. And they know him.
Yeah, but forever.
Think they judge
It's
you?
like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They
Is that the sheriffs or does Bel Air have their own police department? All of them.
Look, there's 4 law enforcement agencies in this area. You have Bel Air Town Police, you have the Harford County Sheriff, you've got the State Police, and then you got the Park Police, which is Department of Natural Resources.
And that's here, because we're literally
Well, Mom
Rocksteady.
Pa Trail too.
Right.
So the park police have jurisdiction around here.
Oh
Right.
yeah, they have
We're
state police
actually
powers.
in Rock State Park.
Oh,
We
wow.
actually live in Rock
Grants.
State Park.
Yeah.
This is called Indian Echo Point right here.
Oh, it's
This
beautiful
used to
out
be
there.
a native encampment.
Oh. Was this like property passed on from your family?
No, we bought this property in '89.
Oh,
We
okay.
used to live in Baltimore City.
Oh, you was in Baltimore?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Big
I lived
change,
in
right?
Baltimore, too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, big change. But it's more peaceful out here.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
it
you
looks
don't-
it looks peaceful.
You
Look.
don't hear cars all the time. You don't hear sirens.
Look how
When you
peaceful
hear
it
a
is.
siren, you know something's wrong.
Or if you see a helicopter flying over this
Yeah.
way, you know they're going to that little rock formation up here
Yeah.
because somebody fell off.
I don't even think I could get it over there on the road. Cell service. It was like very spotty.
Yeah.
It is.
We have places in the house.
Like
where
I
we
say,
don't
I'm
have the
far
phone
enough out
on.
to where I don't want to be reached, but I'm far enough out to where if you reach me, you can get me.
Do you think they're gonna catch the killer or
Yes.
killers
I do.
I do.
I do.
soon?
It's only a matter of time.
It's only a matter of time. I mean, he's going to slip up. Either he's going to return to the scene of the crime or he's going
They're
to...
going to get information.
They're going to get
off of
some
her.
kind of information or something that's going to lead them to him.
You think it's a him?
I do.
You said a female.
I said it could.
Could be. I'm open-minded
I
to being
know how
anybody.
jealous women are.
The strength that it took. She's 107
Yeah.
pounds.
Yeah. What?
Think about that. She's 107 pounds and how far she was dragged.
So you think she was dragged off the trail?
Yes.
Yes.
Again, was she already? You think she was already dead on the trail, or do you think she got ambushed
Yeah.
I think she got ambushed.
right
From
there?
the things my daughter described, it started at the trail and went down. And I don't want to be graphic, so
Right.
because that's already gotten us in trouble already.
Right.
So, we talked a little bit off camera. Do you think there should be changes on that trail?
I do.
Yes.
I believe that they should put a camera system in all the way down that trail. I mean, the houses sitting on the trail are nice. Don't get me wrong. But their surveillance cannot see through those trees.
No. No.
There should be, like that one place where you saw that had the dumpsters and that little parking lot. I didn't see any cameras up there either.
What
And
about
that's a-
lights on the trail? Maybe different
yes.
spots.
Definitely.
Definitely, because you know as well as I do that trail gets dark really
Yeah.
quick.
And
You
like
were out
where-
there at 6 by 7.
And they don't lock it.
dark.
You can technically, like, they don't. It
No.
don't seem like it's enforced. And now it is
Yeah.
probably because they're out there now because trying to find
Yeah,
the killer.
it's
But
going one way.
before, was it enforced?
No.
No.
That was
No.
a party trail.
Is it okay? So Rachel, she kind of went out at 6. Is it possible she got killed when it turned dark? Like she was out. How long do you think she was out there for? Or when do you think this happened?
I think it happened under the cover of darkness. Because you think about that road noise.
Yeah, right there during
24.
So loud.
Nobody would hear her struggling. Nobody would hear her screaming. If they were walking that long, desolate trail and they were, let's say, 200 yards away from her, they wouldn't hear her.
Plus, even the houses.
It would have to
everybody
be
has
done
air
under the cover of
conditioning
darkness
in.
because that trail is well traveled.
Yeah, that's what I was saying today. I was like, whoever, if they did ambush her, you're taking a big risk of being seen.
Right.
Because I've seen all types of walkers and
Yeah.
runners and bikes all on the trail, so you're
I've
taking
seen
a risk.
unsavory characters down that trail too.
Even when my daughter was down
There were people following her
coming
and my
after
daughter
her.
around. Yeah.
Do you want your daughter down there anymore?
No.
No.
I don't believe that trail is safe until they get lights and cameras. And I honestly think they should dedicate it to Rachel
Like name the trail?
Yeah.
in her honor.
That's interesting. I think they might do that.
You know, put cameras on the trail in memory of Rachel Morin.
Right.
Well, I appreciate you guys' time. Thank you so much for letting me come out to your
No
home and
problem.
share
No
and put what
problem.
you want out there, you know, in your words. I'll play this right through as it is. It's your words. And I honestly, I believe you guys. I really do believe you guys. I cannot believe that you were just out there, you know, speaking, and then it turned into you being looked at as a suspect. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Well, again, I was only trying to protect my stepdaughter from being bombarded with the
Yeah.
news media outlets.
so she won't talk to the media.
No.
Not at all.
I even asked her last night. She goes, "I'm not ready to talk."
Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.